Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Jameis Winston is going to start against Jacksonville Monday night in the Dome. And I am certainly under the assumption that as long as Jameis Winston doesn't throw up on himself in this game, he is going to be named the starting quarterback. We now know when Sean Payton is going to name a starting quarterback. Sean Payton gave an interview to Peter King for his Football Morning in America column that he does every Monday. And as part of that interview, Sean Payton told Peter King that he wants to name his starting quarterback before the final preseason game Saturday against the Cardinals. So this is not going to be something where we find out right before kickoff week 1 against Green Bay and one of the two trots out there. And it's certainly not going to be something apparently that they take into the third preseason game. I think the real question is going to be, and maybe this is somewhat of an indicator of how they handle the third preseason game, but do you not play your starter at all? See, one big question that I've had, considering you only have 3 preseason games now, do you treat the 3 preseason games like you are missing the first one or the fourth one, how it used to go? Like, what I mean by that is, do you treat the first 3 preseason games like you would have treated the first 3 when you get to the third preseason game, your starters are playing extended minutes? Or is it like games 2, 3, 4, where your starters play a good bit in the second, they play the bulk of the second preseason game and don't play at all in the final preseason game? We'll get that answer next Saturday whenever the Saints play against the Cardinals. My assumption is the starters aren't going to play a lengthy amount of time a week before the opener against Green Bay. But, this shows you that Sean Payton's not taking this for another 2 weeks. You need to get this thing done. And I'm for that in a major way, because the sooner you come to a conclusion about who your starting quarterback is going to be, you can move forward with that player being the alpha in the offense and being the leader of the huddle, the unquestioned leader. I have no doubt, that when Jameis Winston's named the starter, and Jameis is going to be named the starter, that Taysom Hill is still going to be a key player on this team and play a key role in this offense. He's going to need to. If anything, we've repeated this so many times, if anything, Mike Thomas being out and the general lack of weapons, Emmanuel Sanders not being back, that only further underscores the need to have Taysom in his other role. And maybe my feelings probably wouldn't, but maybe I have a little bit of a different feeling on this if we had seen Taysom Hill actually use his legs within the offense. But it's the differentiator that Taysom Hill has. He has the ability to make plays with his feet, and the Saints so far with Taysom Hill as a starting quarterback have been unwilling to use Taysom Hill, the runner. This goes back to the 4 games he started last year and in the preseason game we saw against Baltimore. They're not calling design runs for him. I'm not saying you would do that in the preseason, but you would certainly do it in the regular season, and they didn't. So if you're not going to use him as a runner, it's like telling Lamar Jackson, hey, we're not letting you run. Why? It's one of the things that makes him so dynamic. So as a pure pocket passer, there's just nothing there that makes sense. What makes sense is have Jameis Winston function within this offense, have Taysom Hill play the role he played prior, because Taysom's upside at 27 years old, Jameis's upside at 27 years old is drastically higher than what Taysom's did, which you might have already reached as an NFL quarterback. The other thing, too, and I know that there are people that will poo-poo it, but Alvin Kamara talked about Jameis's 5,000-yard season. And listen, I can say it and say, listen, he's one of only 10 5,000-yard seasons in NFL history, and this guy's got one of them. And a lot of people say, yeah, well, look who his receivers were in Tampa, or look at the era of football. And the reality is everyone plays in this era, and lots of teams have had great wide receivers, and only a handful of quarterbacks have done what Jameis did in throwing for 5,000 yards. I can say it, and you can poo-poo it, But when Alvin Kamara says it, maybe it carries a little different weight.
You don't do what he did in this league by accident. Like you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's too high level competition to be able to just come in and be like, oh, I just threw for 5,000. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. So, I mean, I have the ultimate respect for Jameis, period. Like, this is just point blank now. Coming in and not really having the reps last year, sitting behind Drew and not having that experience, I mean, it just is what it is. You can't kind of – it's hard to get better when you don't have the reps, you know, those in-game reps and, I mean, just the practice reps. So what he's been able to do this camp is, I mean, get in there, get the reps, get the, you know, the preseason experience and, you know, run with the ones and really kind of show what he got and show his talent. So it's definitely, I don't think his talent ever left, you know. I mean, it's just opportunity. So he has opportunity now.
Huge vote of confidence there for Jameis Winston from Alvin Kamara. It is worth noting that Kamara did support Taysom Hill as well. He said very complimentary things. But the point is, for anybody who's poo-pooing Jameis's success in the past, you go take it up with Alvin Kamara. Saints will have their starter name before the next preseason game, Saturday against the Cardinals. In the meantime, Monday Night Football, it is the Saints and the Jags from the Dome. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.